Menjawab. Ketemu lagi sama Poika dan
Bangsa Beni.
ya, Poika udah lama banget nggak ngevlog ya. Udah hampir sebulan atau berapa nggak tahu deh. Pokoknya nggak kehitung. Nah, hari ini Poika mau mulai ngevlog lagi, aktif ngevlog lagi. Tapi vlog kali ini Poika mau bayar hutang ke kalian. Buat yang kalian udah DM lama banget, 2 tahun yang lalu mungkin ya, atau setahun yang lalu, itu masalah COVID di Swedia. Itu udah banyak banget DM yang masuk tentang COVID, tapi Poika jawabnya nanti ya di vlog ya, nanti di vlog, tapi itu nggak pernah terjadi. Nah, hari ini Poika bakal melunasi janji Poika buat kalian. Jadi Poika bakal bahas semua pertanyaan-pertanyaan kalian soal COVID di Swedia. Jadi maaf banget ya telat. Jadi kita nggak usah langsung banyak bacot Bangsa Beni di suara direkt på frågorna. Jadi kita bakal bakal tanya jawab. Di sini ada 5 pertanyaan yang pokoknya intinya aja gitu ya, yang buat kalian. Jadi kalian tahu sebenarnya COVID di Swedia kayak gimana sih. Kenapa nggak pernah pakai masker, vaksinnya gimana, nggak pernah lockdown ya, pak gitu. Kalau setiap saya bikin instastory lagi jalan-jalan di luar, itu pasti deh pertanyaannya banyak banget. Enak ya di Swedia nggak ada COVID, padahal. Nah, di sini bakalan kita jawab langsung pertanyaan dari kalian. Are you ready, Bangsa Beni?
Oke.
Nah, sebelumnya Bangsa Beni sini bakalan ngomong pakai bahasa Inggris. Jadi buat kalian nanti tinggal klik aja CC di kiri atas, di sini ya, di sini deh kayaknya. Kiri atas sini ada bacaan sisi. Kalian klik screennya, terus nanti di handphone kalian itu ada bacaan sisi. Kalian klik itu, aktifin, nanti ada, insya Allah nanti ada subtitle Indonesianya. Jadi Bangsa Beni bakal ngasih tahu kalian pakai bahasa Inggris. Tapi buat kalian yang ngerti bahasa Inggris ya nggak perlu gitu ya, langsung aja. Oke. Pertanyaan pertama, nggak ada COVID ya di Swedia? Yang pertanyaan pertama itu, har vi inte COVID? Jag kan inte på engelska.
Ta på svenska då. Ta på svenska. Okej. One more time.
Saya mau coba pakai bahasa Inggris tapi saya nggak bisa. Kayak bahasa Swedia aja ya. So, tadi yang pertanyaan pertama itu, nggak ada COVID ya di Swedia? Nah, pasti bakal nanya, hari nggak COVID di Swedia?
If we have COVID-19 in Sweden, yes, of course we have it. We have it globally in the world, and we have it in Sweden. The spread, though, of the virus is in Sweden now on an international low level, one of the lower in Europe and in the world. And a big part of the population in Sweden is vaccinated.
So, sekarang pertanyaan ke nomor 2 ya. Swedia nggak pernah lockdown ya? Saya lihat kok orang masih jalan berkerumunan, bebas ke sini-sini gitu. Masih bisa keluar. Nah, sekarang bakalan kita tanya langsung ke orang Swedianya. Hari ini lockdown di Swedia?
We don't have a lockdown, but we do have a semi-lockdown. Meaning that we have restrictions, for example, in number of people in each store, distance between people, hand disinfection, etc. We have only been able to meet family and maximum 8 persons. No penalties though in Sweden if you have broken the rules. Instead, the rules in Sweden has been based on individual respect, meaning that you have recommendations and you are supposed to follow it. And actually, most of the people do follow the recommendations. Any symptoms appearing, for example, if you have coughing or if you are sneezing, then you have to test yourself. This is mandatory in Sweden. And you have to do the PCR test of COVID-19.
Jadi tadi yang pertama, di Swedia ada COVID apa enggak? Ada, COVID ada di Swedia. Terus yang kedua, kenapa nggak pernah lockdown? Kita nggak ada pernah lockdown, tapi semi lockdown. Jadi dibatasin, kayak kita nggak boleh ada party lebih dari berapa puluh orang, 50 orang. Awal-awal tuh tahun pertama COVID tuh 2020 tuh nggak boleh 50 orang, minimal 50 orang. Terus makin kesini makin dikurangin 10 orang, makin kesini 8 orang, 4 orang, bahkan ada 1 orang 1 meja. Dan kayak pub, bar itu semua di close. Terus restoran juga di close, boleh bukanya cuma sampai jam 6, enggak, pertama sampai jam 8. Terus mulai dimundur lagi sampai jam 6 kayak gitu. Jadi kita bertahap-tahap cuy, nggak langsung lockdown kayak gitu. Jadinya ada, tapi bukan lockdown, semi lockdown. Pertanyaan nomor 3. Peraturan ada nggak sih peraturan COVID di Swedia? Terus vaksin apa yang kalian gunakan? Kenapa bukan Sinovac atau yang lain gitu? Mpok pernah cerita katanya vaksin di sini cuma Moderna sama Pfizer. Nah, di sini Bang Sabri bakal jelasin. COVID-läger i Sverige och vaccinet. Kan du berätta lite?
Yes, what rules we have in Sweden, and are we going back to normal now? Yeah, the rules has been, as I mentioned, recommendations. So we are not allowed to invite more than 7 persons, or if we are 6 persons, so we are totally 8 persons. And the recommendation is that it should be family only. We have to disinfect our hands every time you enter new environments. For example, that could be when entering a shop and exiting a shop, both 2 times. And we are not allowed to meet elderly people at elderly homes, for example. Like I was not allowed to meet with my mother for approximately 1 year during the pandemic. Many shops and restaurants were closed during the pandemic, and cinemas, theaters, etc. They were also closed down totally. Same with all sports events. Since the spread of the virus has been reduced and is now on an international low level, as I mentioned, the decision by the Swedish authorities is to open up now. So we are going back, as the question was, going back to normal. Yes, we are step by step taking steps towards normal, but this is very new. This happened last week, so it's brand new. So we are following our neighboring countries that opened up before Sweden, like Denmark and Norway. Just to so now basically we are allowed to go to bars. We haven't been allowed to do this. We can drink and we can eat and we can enjoy company in a much more liberal way.
Back to normal?
Back to more normal, I would say, yes.
After all the people vaccine.
Yeah, and in Sweden, yeah, 84% of the Swedish population has the first shot of the whole population, and 78% has both shots at this moment. And we are now talking also about kids and young people. So the whole population is basically close to finalized with the vaccination. So this is also, of course, making it possible to open up. This means that this limits the spread of the virus, but also reduces the risk for mutations, for example.
Iya, jadi sekarang udah kembali seperti biasa. Pemerintah mencabut semua peraturan COVID. Jadi kita bisa ke mall lagi, bisa shopping, bisa ke restoran, bisa ke bar, bisa ke teater, bioskop. Terus bisa, ya pokoknya kembali ke normal lagi kayak seperti biasa. Cuma Apa namanya ya, kalau saya sama Bang sini tetap hati-hati aja. Kalau saya nggak terlalu excited banget, oh kita langsung pergi ke bar, apa kita langsung ke restoran, nggak, tetap saya sama Bang Semi tetap hati-hati, dan kayaknya mereka juga tetap hati-hati walaupun udah kembali normal, mereka tetap namanya hati-hati ada kayak gitu. Kalau jadi orang Swedia tuh nggak kayak abis di penjara langsung keluar bebas ngapain, enggak, mereka tetap hati-hati. Nah, kenapa seperti dicabut? Karena hampir keseluruhan kita udah vaksin semua. Jadinya buat kalian di Indonesia, vaksin ya. Jangan sampai nggak vaksin, karena walaupun vaksin tidak mencegah 100%, tapi setidaknya simptomnya itu tidak parah sama yang belum vaksin gitu. Jadinya masih bisa tangani kayak gitu. Oke? Pertanyaan selanjutnya, Bangsa Benih. Kenapa sih di Swedia nggak kelihatan banyak orang pakai masker, Po? Saya lihat di sini nggak pernah pakai masker, ini nggak pakai masker, Empo juga pun jarang pakai masker, kayak gitu. Sebenarnya kita pakai masker, tapi buat lebih jelasnya, Bangsa Benih yang jawab. Varför ni använder inte så ofta munskydd?
Okay. Why we are not using mouth protection? We are allowed to use mouth protection, and it has been a recommendation during the pandemic, but in certain areas like hospitals, care centers, for elderly people, for example, it has been and is mandatory to use mouth protection. Me and Ika, we have been using mouth protection all the time. When we have exited home, but not at home we haven't used it, but when we went to shops, etc., we used mouth protection. Maybe not all the time, but most of the time we have been using it. And when there has been rush traffic, for example, there has also been rules about using the mouth protection as well. So we use mouth protection, but most of the time it has been on a voluntary scale, so to say. And I'm in favor of using the mouth protection, so I use it.
Jadi tuh di Swedia itu nggak wajib pakai masker. Yang diwajibkan itu kalau kita ke rumah sakit, ke puskesmas, ke klinik, terus di di supermarket. Kalau lagi jam-jam sibuk, lalu lintas jam sibuk, itu diwajibkan pakai masker. Terus, Empo, vaksin apa yang kalian pakai di Swedia? Vilken vaksin som ni har i Sverige?
Okay, so to be able to sell and for us to be able to choose a vaccine, it has to be approved. And the approval in Sweden follows the European Union approval of vaccines, so we use the same approval. We have 4 different vaccines approved for usage in Europe.
Ada 4 jenis vaksin yang dipakai di Indonesia, di Swedia.
Yeah. So let's see which ones we are allowed to use in Europe. First, Comirnaty from Pfizer-BioNTech. That is the first one. This is the one I got 2 shots of, and Ika also 2 shots. Yeah. And then we have number 2, which is Spikevax from Moderna.
No?
Yeah. And then number 3 is Vaxzevria from AstraZeneca. Yes, this is also available in Indonesia, right?
Yes, AstraZeneca.
And then number 4 is COVID-19 vaccine Janssen from Janssen Cilag. These are the 4 only ones that are approved. And
vi får bestämma vilken vaccin som...
Yeah, we can choose vaccine with some limitation, because it's also depending on if there is availability on it. There has been difficulties in getting some of these vaccines of different reasons. Other vaccines in the world is under testing as far as I understand. So like Sinovac, and I don't know the names of the others. Sinopharm. Probably they are being tested, but they have not got the approval for different reasons. They are probably very good vaccines, but they are still not approved by the authorities in Europe. There may be some questions still to answer, and we will probably have Sinovac here in the future. But most people are now vaccinated first time. Maybe we need a second, third time. We don't know yet, but maybe we will get this in the future. The question, why do we use these ones? Yes, simply because there has been purchases from governments in Europe, and it has not always been easy to get vaccines. So the government has signed contracts with different companies, and they have to be approved first, and then you have to get them as well to buy them. So that has been some limitations. So we don't have too many to choose among, but I'm happy that I have the vaccination. You are happy?
Yes.
We are happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, jadi Abang One itu pertanyaan yang banyak banget datang ke Instagramnya Poika. Kalau Poika lagi bikin Insta Story, jalan-jalan kemana segala macem. Jadi mudah-mudahan kalian gak penasaran lagi soal COVID di Swedia. Sekarang kita udah kembali normal lagi di Swedia. Kita nggak pakai masker, kita udah boleh ya leluasa seperti biasa lagi. Tapi tetap Poika ingetin, COVID still alive.
Yes.
COVID is still alive.
Yeah.
So just
and what we are afraid of is, of course, that there could be mutations. There is the Delta variant, there is the Gamma variant or whatever. I don't remember the name of them, but there are other variants. Mutations are dangerous, and maybe next year we have to take another shot. I will do the shot now for you. So.
Iya, jadi jangan merasa COVID itu udah hilang. Enggak, COVID itu masih ada. Jadi tetap kita harus jaga protokol kesehatan, tetap jaga jarak juga. Tapi ya udah nggak ada yang namanya peraturan mall ditutup jam segini segala macem. Pokoknya udah bebas sekarang di Swedia. Tapi tetap kita jaga kesehatan kita. Pokoknya harus hati-hati ya Bang Ne ya. Tapi kita ingetin harus vaksin, ya, have to vaksin.
Yes.
Yes. Vaksin is good for protect.
Yes, protection, both for you, but also for everybody around the person as well. Also for the elderly people, but also to reduce the risk of mutation. So my recommendation to everyone who listens to us, please do vaccinate, because that helps not only you, but the whole community will be a safer and more healthier community, and so we can win the fight against COVID.
So Indonesian maybe can back to normal like Sweden?
Yes. I hope.
So we can go home.
We can go home.
Mereka bisa pulang kampung. Jadinya itu
pulang.
Iya, pulang. Udah kangen banget pengen pulang kampung, nggak ada karantina lagi gitu maksudnya. Ya Bang Ana ya, terima kasih yang udah nonton. Semoga ini ada pembelajaran yang bisa kalian petik ya, yang baiknya diambil, yang jeleknya dibuang ya. Dan mohon maaf, Poika udah lama banget nge-vlog. Sekarang Poika insyaallah bakalan nge-vlog lagi di YouTube ya, rajin lagi nge-vlog di YouTube ya. Jangan lupa di like, di share, di subscribe, terus nyalakan loncengnya di situ. Terus follow Instagramnya Poika di sini. Jadi kalian bisa tahu kegiatan Poika sehari-hari kayak gimana, oke? Makasih Bang Sabeni, thank you for the answer. Sebenarnya Bang Sabeni juga Bang Sabeni dia bikin tulisan catatan biar dia nggak salah, soalnya kan kalau COVID ini kan sensitif, jadinya faktanya harus benar-benar yang cari jawabannya yang benar fakta, jadi biar nggak kesalahan ngasih info ke kalian soal COVID di Swedia. Oke, makasih Bang nih, cipok-cipok. Dadah, assalamualaikum, sampai ketemu lagi.